Moving on, the Sheraton Hotel downtown, the site of the Legionnaires outbreak, is delaying its reopening. The hotel previously saying they would reopen as early as tomorrow, but the hotel's general manager tells us they will remain closed until at least early next week as they wait for more test results. As Ryan Kruger shows us, this could go down as one of the worst outbreaks in U.S. history.
Hotels and hospitals, those are the prime targets for Legionnaires outbreaks here in the U.S. And with 12 confirmed cases, including one death, and dozens more probable cases of the disease, the Sheraton downtown could go down as one of the worst outbreaks in a hotel ever. Now, before we get to the numbers, let's talk about the cleanup. The Sheraton's general manager told us in a statement they've done a thorough cleaning of the hotel's entire water system. Water technologist Bill Pearson, a leading expert in combating Legionella risk, tells me over the phone the hotel is likely waiting until all the tests give them the clear to reopen. But once they do, he says have no fear.
I would absolutely stay in that hotel, would have no reservations once they've completely done what they're doing right now.
Okay, let's get back to the numbers. The worst outbreak of Legionnaires was at a Legionnaires convention at the Bellevue Stratford Hotel in Philadelphia back in 1976, hence the name of the disease. The JW Marriott Hotel in Chicago had an outbreak back in 2012. 3 people died there. There were 10 confirmed cases. The Sheraton already has more people sick. No other hotel cases have even come close. New York City is home to the worst outbreak in recent memory. 130 people got sick, 13 died after an outbreak near Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx back in 2015. And even the happiest place on earth couldn't escape Legionnaires. In 2017, there was an outbreak in the water cooling towers. It got 22 people sick at Disneyland.